Welcome everyone to our what am I saying? Okay, that's the blooper.
And this is A B Convos Wrestling Edition.
Welcome everyone to A B Convos Wrestling Edition. And this is a
post-apocalyptic?
A whole new world. A world with virus running through. I don't know what that was.
Wow. I mean, it wasn't bad, though.
But this is a post-apocalyptic coronavirus world. And as you can see, TP is at a premium. And you can get these right now at
Amazon.com. LKB is the name of the store. We sell these.
Got toilet
Yes,
paper.
these are our shirts. Got toilet paper.
As you can see right here, the real champ right now is toilet paper.
Yes.
So, man.
You may got gold, but we got toilet paper, baby.
Oh, TP.
Sorry.
It's only one ply. It's only one ply. It's going to collapse.
Oh, man.
And again, it's a post-apocalyptic world. We only get one ply.
Now, look.
All right.
We're maintaining social distance. I'm covering up. Make sure that I don't, I may or may not have been a little under the weather this week. No corona, but I still kept my distance. Kept everybody safe because you don't want to spread whatever you may have. But I'm good now, but I still just want to be safe.
All right. Sorry, Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher!
So let's get into it. This is again I guess a post-coronavirus wrestling edition with Raw, the Wednesday Night Wars of NXT, AEW, and then SmackDown Live. And I gotta tell you, Raw and SmackDown, what's the word? Sucked. They're
in a situation none of us have ever been in. They're trying to make do with the best that they can. Triple H they're kind of using him as the face of what's going on.
As the face of coronavirus?
See, that's not what I said.
I knew it.
You knew it. However, as soon as we saw it, you start looking at things that you might do differently and that you would suspect that maybe by Friday they would have figured out to do things differently. When your audience is empty with most wrestling shows, it's not a packed house, they darken the audience, towards the back so it seems a little fuller, so it's not quite as obvious.
Right.
There's different things you can do, space people out a little bit. As soon as I saw Raw, I thought, why not have some of the wrestlers from the back come in and be an audience? Because when you're absolutely performing to nobody, you just didn't buy into it for a second.
It changes the whole dynamic, because when you have the crowd, aside from the hype of the crowd, but just the actual physical bodies changes the acoustics of that arena. So to have it completely empty, it takes you out of it. It kind of feels like when we were watching, I guess FCW, seeing how these people came up from Florida and they were cutting promo in promo class. It had that sort of quiet, we're learning, we're in school kind of a feel.
And still talking to an audience.
Yeah.
That's not there, but we all know it's not there. And although we are an audience, it's not the same thing.
Not the same thing. However, you did mention last time, and then AEW ended up doing what?
Bringing the other wrestlers in as the audience. And so now they are interacting with an audience, a very invested audience, a very small audience, but
they were loud.
Loud.
So it made you feel, as the matches went on, like there were really people there invested in this match.
And the arena was darkened behind them.
And start to finish, AEW was a regular show. And they were good matches.
Yeah, I didn't look at them and go, damn, what's going on? I actually got involved in what was going on. And then, of course, the debut of Brody Lee and won Matt Hardy. That's
Man.
huge.
Huge, huge, huge. Okay, huge. And I gotta tell you, it went over better than I feel Stone Cold's 316 Day. I mean, it became a thing of its own. I was really looking forward to it. And again, they kind of showed some vignettes from days past. They really could have maybe gone backstage, showed him interacting with some of the people back there, instead of just popping out at the very end and just doing. I mean, it was kind of funny. Give me a hell yeah to an empty. I mean, I'll.
No, I mean it's Stone Cold. We're always gonna be like have a Stone Cold moment, but there was a few awkward moments where you just kind of felt like
But didn't have that old Monday Night War WCW pop when you had a former WWE wrestler all of a sudden appear on WCW like we had with Matt Hardy on AEW. It was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Plus the fact that Jeff Hardy came back this past week and also had a match. So now you have two Hardys, two different brands. It's interesting. But overall, no good. And then what was NXT? NXT didn't even have any wrestling matches at all.
It's a whole bunch of reminiscing. And I said at the beginning of all this, reminiscing actually wouldn't be a bad thing if you didn't have a whole network where you can reminisce wherever you want to. And because you forced all of us to buy into this network, we can see that whenever we want to.
Exactly.
But I will give Miz and Morrison some points because I loved what they did. They put on a whole performance with just themselves with some pre-record. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, the dirt sheet went off very, very well. Playing different superstars. And I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of Heavy Machinery, and I love seeing the six-pack go against the keg, if you will. That was a good match.
That was a good match. And when Otis lost it at the end, and I mentioned this to A when we were watching it, I really feel that the Otis character is a little reminiscent of George the Animal. I know it's not to that extreme, but they kind of almost have him caveman-ish. You don't really hear him talk a lot. You kind of very simple, very, pouty like a big kid. And then, you have this beautiful Elizabeth, like she's a little bit of what our Elizabeth would be today when he was the animal was in love with Elizabeth. I kind of feel like that same dynamic is kind of being recreated, but I actually really like it. And Otis beat the hell out of everybody, and it was great.
And like you said, people have the WWE network. The vast majority of the people, I think it's fair to say, that watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT are subscribers of the network, and they've seen WrestleMania. They've seen all these shows that they're just filling time with. You've got a locker room of superstars that are just biding their time doing nothing. And I'm going to tell you, we've said this many, many times, the NXT superstars far and beyond are way better performers than we've seen on Raw and SmackDown, yet everybody was just taking the night off. I understand these are weird and scary times, and maybe some superstars have expressed some concern about wrestling. A segue into what they are now dubbing as too big for one night. WrestleMania. So you're telling us that one night has been sufficient for the last 35 years, but because it's going to be in the Performance Center, now it's too big for one night. You mean too big for the Performance Center? And I don't even know what this WrestleMania is going to look like.
Well, of course, nobody does, and neither do they. And that's the whole point, is that day from day, seriously, we're wearing shirts that say got toilet paper. Who knows what the hell is going on right now? However, WrestleMania better damn well have at least 10 to 15 wrestlers who are not wrestling in the audience to give us an audience. If they don't want to be close to each other, sit them 6 feet apart. But put a few people in the audience that are already there.
I hope so.
If AEW figured it out, they could figure it out.
I don't think so. I don't think so, homeboy, homegirl, skull face, red skull, pink skull.
Pink skull, baby.
This MCU, I don't know what this is, because what I'm not seeing is Triple H, McMahon utilize this opportunity the way that I think they could. The fact that AEW did kind of out of the gate and WWE is just lagging behind in the creativity aspect of things. I don't know. I'm not really holding out a whole lot of hope.
AEW brought it, and the ratings are going to show. There's nobody who would have watched NXT over AEW this week. If you did, let us know why in the comments, because there doesn't seem to be a reason that anyone would have done that. There was nothing to see, right? It's not even a Wednesday Night War. It's a slaughter, okay? So they know they have to make changes. They know they need to learn from the success of AEW, and they need to do it fast with WrestleMania coming up. So you have someone called the Savior. You should be somehow working this into, you know what I mean, your
He's coming
act.
to save this whole thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you need to figure out how to work this in and make it a part of what's going on and take us away from the world. If we're watching the Performance Center and we're sitting here going, this is awkward, you're not taking us away from the world, you're reminding us. I didn't sit there watching AEW going, this is so weird. But the other three were like, oh yeah, I forgot the world has ended. You know what I mean?
This is true. I don't know. I mean, in some ways you had them think outside the box by having Becky Lynch drive up in a big rig. I thought that was really, really cool. But she cut a promo, whatever. And Shayna Baszler is watching backstage on a monitor, balling up her fists, and that was it. I mean, you had no interaction with these two, so again, why would we be invested? At least Charlotte showed up to NXT and, well, laid it in to Rhea Ripley.
Well, Shayna Baszler, now that she's a bloodsucker, is an OSHA hazard. You see, because when we're not supposed to be exchanging handshakes, you got someone who's biting off people's necks. In the post-apocalyptic world, I mean, she could have started the corona for all we know.
Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
So it's just a job hazard to, have her on a monitor, make sure she doesn't suck anybody's blood.
All right, guys, so that's all we have right now for A B Convos
Wrestling Edition.
Please let us know what you think by leaving a comment below. What do you think is going to happen next week, and what do you want to see happen at WrestleMania Too Big for One Night?
And if you're new to our channel, you haven't subscribed yet,
Forget you! Wait.
Hit the notification bell, tell us a little bit about yourself, and more importantly, since we're all grounded, go watch our videos. We have plenty of them.
You're going to love them. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you down the road.
Hopefully. Does anybody have any toilet paper?
Right here. Matter of fact, I need this right now. Let's cut.
Uh-oh.